Hello everybody. My name is John, creator of Solution to the Cycle. Come to you today to touch on a couple things in my culture that is very important. First off, let me start by saying, if I've ever said or done anything to anyone, man, woman, please forgive me. I apologize from the bottom of my heart. My mind, heart, body, and soul has not been in line movement or motion or in sync with each other. But I am here now. Another thing is that the mental slavery issue in my culture is very deep. I want to speak about self. And if you can relate, that's very good. But I'm just going to talk about me and a lot of things that's going on in my culture and my community. As you know, a lot of us young men were kind of forced into church. The women have a very big impact on men in our culture. So my grandmother used to take us to church. My mother really wasn't in church when I was younger like that. Grandma always take care of the kids. That's still like happening nowadays, and we'll get back to that because that has a big part of raising children and what goes on in the culture of our everyday life with our families. So grandma used to take us to church. I used to sing in the choir, mass choir, youth chorus, male chorus, practice every day, things of that nature. But at home wasn't so good. So I was around a lot of things going on. You know, typical things, smoking, drinking, family parties, they playing spades, dominoes, My uncles, they shoot dice, you know what I'm saying? It's the regular stuff in my hood, you know what I mean? It's just how we grew up, Stayed in the ghetto, we used to backflip off the bunk beds or the beds in the back, we used to do that, have fun, man. And as a kid, things was good, but things were also bad with the abuse level. And we hate to talk about that in our culture, but there's a lot of abuse in our culture. Mental abuse, spiritual abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse. And I actually stopped going to church because they whooped me in church for a report card when I was like 7 years old. So I ran away from church, and I haven't actually been back to church since I was 7 years old. But I do read the Word. Within saying that, I actually know the Word better than a lot of people know the Word. But we have failed on religion in society. So I'm not going to even talk about that because nowadays you have a religion that young kids don't even believe in. Some kids don't even believe in God because they want to know why would God put them in this position, and why would God let certain things happen in their lives, and why is this happening to them? So they tend not to believe in God. Then you have a picture of a white God that they cannot even understand because everything in America that has power is white. And that's a problem mentally because we don't see black men in power as much as we should. So therefore we don't show respect to a man in power as a black man in power. You usually see women in power, and there's a lot of women that are in power, but women, I need you to know that you have been misled, but you are the best gift that we have ever had. But the man is the backbone of our culture, and through slavery we have been taught that the woman is the backbone, and that's not absolutely true. Because if you lose the man, then the woman goes too. Uh, that is a fact. We bear seed, women bear fruit. So therefore, if the man depreciates, so does the woman. Uh, it gets bad when you call a woman on her game, and this is not for all women, because there are a lot of women that are very, very on point and on their game, and there are a lot of men that are not on their game. So we actually can't call them men because they are not exploiting the real mentality of a man, which, as I would say, would be myself. And I have not given to a woman what she deserves because I was not taught how to be a man, because there was no father in my household. And with that being said, how to love a woman, appreciate a woman, take care of a woman, in my mind, only sits with money. Because a lot of women want money. They think money, if you don't have enough money, then you can't take care of them. From being in a single household with a single mother and watching her struggle, I've always wanted a family. So I've always wanted to be with a woman and start a family. I've always ran into women that wouldn't mind having my child, but did not want to have the relationship. Because the thought of being with someone forever and continuing doing the same thing, taking care of our children, going to work, coming home, making sure we're okay, doing it. The thought about that psychologically messes with a woman who sees a man as being fearful in her eyes. But a woman psychologically is always waiting for a man to fuck up. Excuse my language for people who are Christians or whatever, your religion. I respect that. I'm sorry, I'm just freely speaking actually. So even though I was in the household with a mother, she have showed my sisters how to be independent, but her sons are dependent. My sisters are very great, well off. They have everything in their name, household, everything in their name. But me and my brother do not. And a lot of men that I talk to are in the same boat as I am, white, black, or whatever. The mental slavery has leaked over into all races and cultures, actually, but it was intended only for our culture. Now, I'm not the type of guy to sit here and say I can't provide and take care of a woman. But what I need women to understand is, from the jump of America getting started, I was never given the right tools to accomplish what I need to accomplish to be the man that you need me to be. And the man that is given the right tools to accomplish the things that you need him to be probably don't want you, because you're not accomplishing the things that he needs you to be. So most of them go and be with white women anyway. So women, also look at men and then look at yourself and understand why you don't have the man that you want. The same reason that the man that wants you don't have you. Because you want a man to at least have half of what you got or more than what you have, because it's materialistic. And not love him for being who he is as a man. Never once did I hear as a child that you are a great man, that you are a warrior, that you are going to be somebody, that you come from a long line and a generation of nothing but kings and queens. Mothers are not preaching that to their young kids. In fact, it is the opposite. The women have become the man of the household, and the man have become the woman of the household. Tend to have girl tendencies. You understand what I'm saying? Always in their emotions. You have now emotional men, and you have strong women. Women are actually looking like men, and men are actually looking like women. Men are actually dancing like women. Women are actually just two-stepping like men. So you have a mixed match, but that all comes from history and slavery. And if you have children by a man and you are not with that man, I can understand the first one. But then if you go have babies by another man and you're not with that man, I'm not getting that. Then if you're not with that man and you have a child by another man, so you have 2 or 3 or 4 baby daddies, something's not right. You can't always blame the man. You have to look at yourself and say, what's really going on? But then I'm not going to blame you, because pointing fingers is not what I'm here for. I'm trying to get to the solution of the problem. But in order to get to the solution of the problem, let's figure out where the problem began. And to get to that, we all have to go back and see where slavery began. Because we all are slaves to this system that we are stuck in. Now, I want you to understand this. Me, as a man, have not been given the right appreciation and tools to make it to where I need to make it to. All the men that have been successful in trying to fight for our unity and power have been shot dead. Let me say that again. All the men that was given the power to unite us in our community have been shot dead. So when you say you want a man that's in power or something like that, we're already killing each other. You only got to have a couple dollars. Somebody think because they steal a couple $1,000, 10, 12, 13, 14, $12,000, rob you and they making money and they got a nice car and a nice house. They think that's cool, but what they don't understand is they didn't work for it. They stole it. So people are glorifying stealing money from another man and coming up and buying cars and buying houses and buying new shoes and we spend thousands of dollars on clothes and don't own nothing. Most of the men in my neighborhood or in other neighborhoods don't own anything. I have yet to see, don't give me the line, because a girl showed me the other day 10 men that do have the car in their name, the house in their name, insurance in their name, own job on it, but guess what they have behind them? Or standing right beside them? A strong woman. And that's not because the woman is the backbone. Don't get that twisted. The woman is not the backbone. The man is the backbone. But you always need a strong woman right beside you. So what I am trying to explain here is in my life, I've been trying to be a strong man for my family. But the fact of me seeing my mother struggle and see her get abused and me get abused and going through my own personal, I was a runaway like most men, young men, because there was no father in the home. And I went to the streets, 13 years old on the streets. Man, I didn't go home till I was like 18. And then when I was home, I didn't even feel comfortable being there because my family could be right in my face, but they feel so far away. Because I had already been in the streets learning hard lessons. Sleeping on benches, sleeping where I had to go. And that was from me not wanting to listen to my family because they were saying one thing, but they were doing another thing, and it didn't sit right in my heart. You understand what I'm saying? I done seen my girl cousin get molested. Watching us, my uncle come over and do some crazy shit to my cousin upstairs, and see her get molested. Man, our families are molesting each other. They're hurting each other. They're killing each other. Man, we are mentally messed up. So as children, you see things that is very uncomfortable and don't sit well with you, and you become mentally impaired. And then people want to say you have a problem. You don't have a problem. You need to talk these things out with people and get them out. Now, a lot of things that I went through in my life was crazy. So when I ran away, I had to go out there and find out the ropes for myself. And finding out the ropes for myself, it was very hard. But I ran away from my home because the love that I needed to experience was not there for me. And no matter how much my mom talked about my dad and this and that when I got older and I started going through relationships and finding out how women was to me and how things was, I had to ask my dad, what happened with you and mom? And he told me. But there's always two sides to a story. But maybe my mother wasn't taught how to be a good woman to her man. Or maybe my father wasn't taught how to be a good man to my mother. But these are the things that we all need to sit down and talk about. Let me tell you another thing. A lot of us are not taught our history to know where we come from, to know where we're going. My history stops back at like my grandmother and my grandfather. I don't know who their mothers are. I don't know who their fathers are. Most of us don't. So how do we know where we're going? Because we don't even know where we came from. You know what I'm trying to say? So as a young man, I come to the women in my life or the women that I encounter in my life, and I want to tell you, I apologize for not being the man that I know I should be to you. I apologize for not protecting you. I apologize for not being there that lonely night that you needed me to be there for you. I apologize that I didn't sit down and ask you to pray with me. You understand what I'm trying to say? See, because the practices that I was taught was also isolation. The only thing I had to do was get away from people and maybe I could think and get my mind right. But that shit led me to jail, y'all. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares if you ate. Nobody cares if you got clothes. Nobody cares if you got shelter. Nobody don't care because they got their own stuff going on. So I've also been around people who say, you got to get it like you got to get it. So when I ran away and joined the gang, I thought they was with me. Thought them was my homies. 13 years old, I don't know what I'm doing for real. Know what I'm saying? Out hanging out, smoking, drinking, having sex. I was 13 years old, man. And most of the women I encountered were older than me. I was young having sex with grown-ass women. You understand what I'm saying? Driving cars, smoking weed, drinking, going out having fun. That's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? The rapper on the scene, I rapping, going to different shows, doing shows, people, you know what I'm saying? Putting my life out there to understand my pain because the way I express my pain is through my music. And I still do music. But I'm just letting the world know, I wanted to come to y'all and let y'all know that the mental manipulation in our minds and in a young man's mind right now is that we are not appreciated like we should be appreciated, especially from our women. I need the women to know that we need you to come on back. Now, if a man loves you, he loves you. Don't get me wrong. Let him express the love. But a lot of women don't even want to be black. They want to be white. A lot of women don't even have their natural hair. They're wearing weave. Then they want to say, you don't know why we wear this. But that's because you didn't take care of your hair. You didn't want to be natural. You believe in God for everything else. Believe in God is going to take care of you naturally. You don't need makeup and all that. You're beautiful how you are. You are beautiful how you are. You become beautiful on the inside. It shows on the outside. You are beautiful how you are. Be happy to be nappy. Love your skin color. I love you the way you are. Big, tall, happy, small. I love you the way you are. Just love me too. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be the hardest dude out there on the block, carrying a gun, all that. I encounter that all the time. There's nothing to go out there and get on the block with these guys and carry guns and get tattoos all over my body and have this amount of money and doing that. But when I go to jail, what the fuck is that going to do? Because I lost time with my kids, and then we go to jail and be like, oh, my kids this, my kids that. But if you were doing what you're doing, you must not care about your kids. That's what the white man gonna tell you. So, but if I tell you that, it's a problem because I must be a perpet or something. Like it's so crazy because also when you get educated, here's the two things. If you in the hood and you dumb, right? But if you go out and get educated and you learn something, you get your education, now you're too smart. Now you're trying to be a smart nigga. So that's why people just move away from the hood and get away because nobody understands where a person's trying to get to mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. So what is the solution? Look, the society that we stay in does not permit me as a black man and other black men to be too successful. You see that? You see how these men is dying? Look at Kobe, man. Look at Bill Cosby, man. Look at all the successful men that would have left this world with a legacy. Somehow they find a way to put cases on you or do this. And I'm not saying that whatever they were doing wasn't wrong, but ain't nobody else all in Bill Gates' business. Ain't nobody in IBM's business. They ain't doing nothing, they ain't questioning them. And because I ain't got the money y'all want me to have, or if I do got the money, y'all looking to rob me for it. Like, what's going on with us people? What's the solution? The solution is understanding that we have been mentally enslaved. Just because you don't have chains on, don't mean you're not enslaved. You can be mentally enslaved. And I have done too much time in a box to sit here and waste my time and worry about if you love me or not. Because where I'm at right now, if you don't love me, it's cool. Forgive me for what I've done, though. So, because I'm moving on with mine. You understand what I'm trying to say? Beautiful kids out here, and me and my the mother of my children can't get along because she feels some type of way. Or I can't be on that, man. Because where I'm at, for real, I love you either way it go. Whether you talk to me tomorrow or you never talk to me again. You understand what I'm saying? One thing that we can't change is me and you have blood together. Feel what I'm trying to say? And that's where we become one. We one, baby. We got blood together. We become one. That will never change. So reality is this. Stop living the fantasy life that you see on TV about how a man is supposed to be this and a man is supposed to be that. Come back to reality. The solution is us getting back together, loving each other, and working on our morals and values. Not the American morals and values. Understand the history that I'm coming from. Get off that Americanized, westernized stuff. We need to get back to where we came from. Walaikum salam. Peace to the people, man. Everybody, man. Peace be upon everybody. I just wanted to come and bless y'all with that. And like I said, black women, we love y'all. Please love us back. You can't love your son unless you love the black man. Can't hate a man, but love your son. It just doesn't work out. You have to show love to both. Show us how to be in love with you. Check me out, y'all, at the Facebook, John Odoms. Check me out on Facebook at The Solution to the Cycle. I wrote a book called The Cycle. It's a biography about my life. I will be putting that out for people to grab. First Confessions. I'll be back to you soon. Peace.